to the updated version of Emotional Guitarist, AZ's guitar tone. This update video could be similar to the first one. The tone could be similar to the first one that I did quite a while back. But I feel confident that this update is a better version of the first. This version of AZ's guitar tone is based on a preset in the DigiTech RP500 pedalboard. Little backstory, I got the RP500 around 2009, 2010. So even though it is a little bit older, it's still going strong and it still puts out great sounds. That preset on the RP500 that this version of AZ's tone is going to be based off of is the number 7 preset that's called Superclyd, spelled SUPRCLYD. When I decided to redo AZ's tone, as my guitar has changed from a PRS SE Custom 24 to a USA-made PRS Custom 24, I heard a fuzz face quality to his sound, which I was able to replicate by the guitar tone knob on the guitar itself. As for the guitar that I'll be using to replicate AZ's tone in quite a few of his videos, I now have access to the USA-made 8515 pickups rather than the SE's 8515S pickups. So I can now replicate some nuances of the guitar AZ uses in a good portion of his videos, because in quite a few of his videos he does use a PRS Custom 24. He now is using T's guitars, which are made in Japan. They look fantastic, by the way. But for this tone, I'll be using a PRS Custom 24 with the 8515 pickups. Okay, with all that being said, let's dive in here. Okay, there's a few points that I want to mention first, and this is mainly guitar related, cable related, and what I'm using to record this related. So for this guitar tone, I'll be using, and it doesn't matter what gear you have, however you want to go about replicating this tone, that's up to you. The guitar that I'm using is a PRS Custom 24. It has a rosewood fretboard on it, and it has 8515 pickups. It's completely stock. The only thing that I changed was the truss rod cover from the metal one that says custom on it to a unique custom one that I had made. I just changed it from my SE to my USA made one. But other than that, the guitar is completely stock. The guitar has its original PRS 10 gauge strings on it. Since I got it from Sweetwater, I haven't changed the strings at all. It still has the factory strings on it. The pick that I'm using is the Dunlop Tortex 1mm. It's blue. Yeah. The guitar cable that I'll be using is Pig Hog. I believe it's 12 feet. It has gold contacts, which I have heard does help with signal transfer. So all of that is going into, the RP500, the guitar, the cable, into the RP500, which then in turns goes into my computer through a USB Type B cable, and then into GarageBand. Alrighty, now it is time, my fellow viewers, to go into the specs of this tone. I will include the visual on the screen so you can see what the specs are. For I wanted to use 2 different distortion pedals, but the DigiTech RP500 only allows you to use 1 with each preset. I wanted to use a tube screamer with another distortion pedal, but I couldn't because it doesn't allow you to. Alrighty, so let me actually get my spec sheet. I threw my DigiTech RP500 booklet away long time ago, so now I have all these wonderful pages of the DigiTech RP500. This is the owner's manual. Alright, so DS distortion is based on the Boss DS1 distortion. And then the amplifier is going to be based on a 1988 Soldano SLO 100. The cabinet is going to be based on a DVTG 4x12. It's a DigiTech vintage. Now, we have some delay in here based on the Maestro EP2 Echoplex Tape Echo. And then the reverb is going to be based on the Lexicon Hall. Now, for the parameters, this is going to be an order of how the parameters are on the pedal board. So first up is wah. Wah is off. The compressor, you can put in a compressor, but I found that the distortion sound, the tone sounds better without a compressor. On this certain occasion, the compressor inhibits the sound just a little tiny bit. You could probably put some sustain with the compressor. That might help, actually, to have a little bit more sustain, because he has quite a bit of sustain. For distortion, the distortion is on. The gain is 30. The tone is 30. And skipping over to the level is 32. Those are low numbers, but it'll be just fine because the Boss DS distortion has quite a bit of distortion throughout its entire range. So those low numbers are just fine. The amp slash cabinet is on. The amp gain is set at 60. The bass is set at 10. The mid is set at 10. The treble is set at 10. And the amp level is set at 80. On to the equalizer. The equalizer is on. The low level is set at 0. I don't have a low level frequency. Mid-level frequency is at 1700 hertz. The mid-level is set to 8. The high frequency is at 2240 hertz. And the high frequency level, the high level, is set at 0. It goes between -12 and +12. Even though it's at 0, it doesn't mean, oh, there's absolutely no high level. Then on to noise gate. Noise gate is on. The threshold is 40. The attack is 0. The release is 0. And the attenuation is 99. I never mess with the noise gate. I just leave it on because it helps with hum. Chorus and effects. I mean, I don't know if he uses just a little bit of phaser. I mean, if he does use any phaser or any chorus, it's like at maybe 1 or 2 as far as what I can hear. There's absolutely none. It's just the good old distortion and mainly the equalizer is a big component of it. Moving on to delay. Delay we have on. The time is 370 milliseconds. Now, I don't know about that number per se. This is just a number that I picked. It's almost like a preset number, but the volume and the repeats are going to dictate how well you can hear the delay. So the repeats I have set on 2 because there are some of his guitar that you can hear just very, very faintly some delay in there. So repeats of the delay are 2, and then coming over here to the volume on the delay, that is 4. So it's very, very low repeats and very, very low volume. So yeah, it's almost invisible to the ear, but it's there if you listen very, very closely. Alrighty, on to the reverb. The reverb is on. The pre-delay is 2, the decay is 50, the liveness is 40, and the reverb level is at 40. Now, you could probably have it in between 35 and 40. That's kind of like the sweet spot of reverb for his particular tone anyway. But you can experiment with any of these things. You can experiment and see if you can get closer. If you can get closer, that'd be great. You can put it in the comments if you want, if you get closer, or if you think I'm not close at all, you can share your opinion with me. Moving on. The expression pedal, this is the last effect in the chain here going down. The expression is on. Volume pre, it's volume pre, and the pre-volume is at 0, and then it goes up to pre-volume 99. but I have the master volume set to where I don't blow my ears out because I want to save my hearing. So, yeah. A couple other notable things. The guitar tone knob on the guitar itself, that is a really, really important factor when it comes to his tone. I have mine set between 5.8 and 6.4. On here on the screen, you'll see 6 to 6.4, but I'm going to change that to 5.8 to 6.4. You can kind of play in between those tone settings and see what sounds the best. Like I say, it's a very, very specific tone that is it's very hard to replicate, but I tried my best. And I'll probably, keep evolving this tone as time goes on and maybe even make another update. I don't know. But also the guitar volume knob sounds best when it's not above 9. For some reason, the pickup that you use, the bridge pickup, the volume of it sounds great with this tone between 8 and 9. You can go to 10 if you want just that little itty bitty tiny more distortion, but between 8 and 9 I found is the sweet spot. I will be including all of this information on the screen here so that you don't have to listen to my voice. You can just read it if you like and do whatever you want with the numbers as far as adjusting or things like that. I really, really like his tone on singing guitar, Like It. That tone is impeccable. It's like floating on cloud nine. It's fantastic. Giving you goosebumps, giving you the chills, the awesome chills or whatever. So yeah, but what I recommend is listen to a lot of his videos. I wish that AZ would do a video on his tone in English. I wish he would do a video on his tone in English. That would make... I know he uses bias effects, and I know he has a couple of pedals. I don't have bias effects. Of course, a lot of his tone is also in his playing, the way that he plays. Be aware of that as well. Good luck. Obviously, everyone is different. Everybody has different gear. Please let me know if you think that my sound does not sound like his at all, because if that's the case, then I'm definitely doing another video. But have at it, and we'll see you in the next video.